Local historian Marcia Levy combines photos and research for a presentation that tells the story of well-known Youngstown residents and their homes. That story on today's Daily Buzz.
Today's Business Journal Daily Buzz is brought to you by 717 Credit Union.
Residents on Youngstown's north side drive past them every day, but how many know the history?
Everybody has a story. Everybody's life is a story and a history, and every house has that history too.
Today we give you a brief glimpse into the north side's historic homes in Flashback.
Flashback is sponsored by Hickey Metal Fabrication.
We're going to start off with Wick Avenue because there are 6 mansions there that are still in good condition, and they're the sole surviving mansions on Wick Avenue.
Historian Marcia Levy discusses iconic Youngstown homes and their residents during the Mahoning Valley Historical Society's Bites and Bits lunch program. The presentation complemented the Society's walking tours of Fifth Avenue.
This was something I just wanted to do on my own. It wasn't part of the Mahoning Valley Historical Society project. I did it because I was interested in the houses, and then when I found out that they were doing the tour, I called Bill and asked him if he was interested in me giving the presentation. People are interested in the history of where they live, and a lot of them are curious who lived in those houses. I was curious too, that's why I started researching. I wanted to know who lived in these big, beautiful homes, and what was the history of it, and what they do for a living. So that's why I started it, and that's why I think the people are here, because they were interested too.
Bill Lawson, executive director of the Historical Society, says the organization brings in community historians like Levy to share their expertise.
This is Marcia's second time that she's presented her programs. She did her first one in January this year on the historic homes of Liberty Township, and so she lives there now, but she grew up on Youngstown's north side, so she's really invested a lot in researching homes and the people who lived there in both of her neighborhoods throughout her life.
The Standard Slag Company was a company founded by 3 young men. They all worked together in the stone quarry, and they decided to start their own business.
William H. Kilcawley started the Standard Slag Company alongside Leon Beagley and William Bliss.
They would pick up slag, which was a remnant of the steel manufacturing or other manufacturing, and they would discard it for the people, and the people would pay them. This is William Kilcawley. He also was very involved with the Canfield Fair. That was his passion, the Canfield Fair, and he was a director for almost his whole adult life.
He moved into this house, constructed in 1927, on Redondo Road.
He lived in this house for a short while, not a long time, because then he bought a farm in Canfield.
But not all the homes were owned by Youngstown's biggest names. Eugene Hopper, who owned Youngstown's first car dealership, lived in this house at 1641 Fifth Avenue.
And he had Buick Youngstown, Valley Pontiac, he had Newcastle and Sharon, and he had many, many automobile agencies. And he bought this house from Lester Livingston, from Livingston's women's department store.
The Historical Society's next Fifth Avenue tour will take place next summer.
This past summer we did one on the lower part of Fifth Avenue between Wick Park and Crandall Park. And then next summer we're going to revisit and deal with the street north of Crandall Park up to Gypsy Lane.
In the end, Levy has a couple of favorite homes, and she admires them whenever she drives past.
The one on Park Avenue that was owned by George Renner is a beautiful home. I just love that house, and it's in great condition still. Also, the house at 1819 Fifth Avenue owned by Bert Prince is a beautiful home also. But they all are. They're all beautiful homes, and when I drive down Fifth Avenue, I go really slow, and I just look at all the houses. I'm sure people behind me aren't too happy, but I love looking at those beautiful homes.
Hickey Metal Fabrication, family owned and proudly based in Salem for 75 years. We have state-of-the-art equipment and are ready to handle your start-to-finish fabrication needs.
717 Credit Union, a community-minded partner to help you succeed. Business loans, business checking, and business money market and certificates. 717 Credit Union, We're a local business too.